Well, hello and welcome to the New Health Conversation. For all the censors out there, I just want to let you know that we are always within the community guidelines because the only thing we ever share with our audiences is the medical proof. We have 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies that are in the biggest medical journals in the world proving that everything that I'm sharing is true, it's accurate, it's not false, it's not plagiarized, it's in the public domain. So we're quoting from real scientific proof. We don't make claims. In addition, I've written 4 best-selling books with some of the top medical doctors in the world. So all the research that we've done for those books, we also state that. So I just want you to be clear. We're not saying anything that is not backed up by medical proof, okay? Good morning, everybody. Dorothy, NMS, Noun, Now, Spazx, sorry, Margie Jones, say hi. First question I want to ask everybody is, do you think that's the same woman? You think it's fake? Do you think it's AI? Do you think it's Photoshop? And it's true that that picture supposedly is 30 days, day 1 to day 30. And I'll tell you in a few minutes, but I'd love to have any comments from people that think, is that the same person, right? So Paladin joined us and Brandon joins us. Let me show you another one. I'll give you another opportunity. Do you think that's the same woman? Again, that is 30 days. So I guess one of the questions I'd like to ask everybody starting out before, and I'm going to go over all the answers. I'm going to tell you the solution. I'm going to tell you if that's real, and if it is real, how in the world did she ever achieve that kind of a result? And then when we look at Julie here, this is 37 days. You can see October 3rd to November 9th. Look at that transformation from her neck, her stomach, her legs, everything shrank, okay? So would any of you like to make a comment? Do you think it's real? Do you think, if that is real, are you really excited to learn how in the world did she do that? Hello, Jimmy. Jimmy, and there's 2 different Jimmys, Jimmy SG, and then Jimmy S, and then Lisa Marie, and then I see Kim, and then Crystal, and then Brian and Carol, etc. So what I'd like to know today is, do you think that that's real or do you think it's Photoshop? Now, this last one, this is the daughter of a friend of mine who's a realtor, okay? You decide if you think it's Photoshopped. That is 60 days, okay? Look at her, well, just look at the change. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach area, etc. So are you all now curious to find out, okay, what in the heck, get this guy, get to the point, get to the point. We want to know, how did they do it? How did they do it? I get everybody's impatient, maybe you're going to work, you're doing whatever. Okay, I'm going to tell you in one second, all right? So let's go back and just take a look at Kristen here. That's 21.2 pounds, 38.75 inches. It is not Photoshopped. It is a real before and after. Also, the picture was with no exercise allowed. The researchers who created this, they weren't against exercise, but they wanted to make sure that exercise wasn't an outlier. Otherwise, you'd say, well, they lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. So this goes against everything we've ever, what if everything you ever have learned about diet, exercise, and health was totally wrong? Because it is. And I'm going to prove it to you today, and none of it is my opinion. I don't give you opinions. We're going to give you medical proof, okay? So how in the world did she do that? Figured out it's 5 pounds a week, okay? All right. So the researchers who invented this are considered and voted or recognized as the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. Let's start with that. They did 40 years of research, 100 studied, thousands of people, and determined 2 principles. One, on every diet they ever studied in 40 years, people always lost weight initially. Notice the wording, initially. This is their language. But every person, every time, well, 2/3 of people ended up weighing more than when they started. So they kept trying. They go do paleo, they did keto, they did Mediterranean, they did Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, over and over. Keep trying to find a diet that actually would produce long-term results. Because see, this, the only reason to do this is not to lose the weight. That's not even a question. It's, can you keep it off? In my case, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. 23 years ago, I've kept it off for 23 years. Now, let me introduce myself and tell you, why should you listen to this crazy guy? Well, I've been a nutritional researcher for 23 years. I've written 4 best-selling books with some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I've done over 20 shows on PBS, and I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America. And that means nothing. I can tell you, for 22 of my 23 years in the medical world, that meant zero. Until about 14 or 15 months ago, these medical studies started to come out. Now, a peer-reviewed human trial study, which is back, that's what backs what happened here. So number one, you know it's safe, and number two, It was created from scratch. And the scientists who created this, there's no products involved. Let me explain that to you. There are no products involved, no lotions, potions, pills, no, it doesn't work like that. Effectively, what they did was figure out new food combinations. Only 30% from the United States. I'll get more detail in a second, I promise. Don't get impatient quite yet. So 30% of what she consumed came from the United States food lists that these researchers developed. The other 70% came from other researchers who for 20 years had gone around the world to the remote areas of the world and brought back food nutrients. In some cases, some of the nutrients that people that were living to be 100 years old who didn't get sick were consuming, right? So these food sources came from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet in the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, and other areas in the world, okay? So 30% of what she consumed came from the grocery store and the other 70% from these foods around the world. But it was food. There was no supplements, okay? Then they invented 2 new ways to consume the food. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these food nutrients from around the world, okay? That was breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, third meal from the grocery store, fourth meal after dinner, another serving of these exotic foods. That was 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, they did something. Now, this is going to spin all of you, I know. But listen to me carefully. She did intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, but the research of what they called, she did 8 nutrient-dense feedings. About every hour and a half, she was eating from only these exotic foods around the world, okay? And look at the results. By the way, at the end of 30 days, they measured water. She lost no water weight, or none of the people did, and with no exercise allowed, gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. I had a trainer yesterday that said, oh, that's just impossible. Well, guess what? It's published in the peer-reviewed human trial studies. Because you have to understand, once this gets published, it's irrefutable evidence. And the researchers, once they turn in their research to these big journals, in this case, like the Obesity Journal, you don't get to change anything. And the journal, you know what their only job is? To discredit what you're trying to prove. I'm serious. And that's why don't any of these other diets that you're all on, why don't they have peer-reviewed studies? Or if the peer-reviewed studies if there happens to be one, the results are pitiful. See, we've lowered the bar so low, maximum weight loss on a diet, 1 to 2 pounds a week, because it's unhealthy to lose more than 1 pound a week on a diet. Yeah, we agree, but this is not a diet, okay? Let's just start with that. So first, let me explain to you, okay, how did they figure this out? Well, after 40 years, they figured out that there was a huge flaw with dieting. Number one, counting calories was the most ridiculous thing on planet Earth, because I'd love for anybody to put in the chat, any of you, what's the definition of a calorie? I'm serious. You're counting calories. Do any of you know what calories are? I didn't, okay? I'm just being totally transparent. So please give me the definition of a calorie, because you're all, whether you know it or not, you're doing some version of that, right? They're telling you calories in, calories out, thermodynamics. It's all nonsense. There's not one no, it does. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. Why are you counting calories? The insanity of what we're doing. We have 80% of America overweight, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic. Does that sound to you like calories in, calories out is working? I don't care what the name of the diet is. That's what you're telling you, right? Well, the researchers said that's nonsense. Here's the way the body works. Right now, all of you, if you're not on a diet, if you're just living your life, you're out there in the wild, right? We have a minimum amount of nutrition, nothing to do with calories, that your body needs in order for the brain to feel comfortable to disperse the energy to all the organs, your heart, your kidney, your liver. They don't run on calories. They run on nutrition. Am I making sense? Does everybody get this? Give me a yes. Give me some taps. Do you like this content? Wow, Froggy, Frey, Caitlin, Charlene, Kim, Jim, Kurt Sells, lots of people coming on. So again, you have to understand this principle or it won't make any sense to you. A calorie, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Because I'm going to wait for one of you to tell me what the definition of a calorie is. But imagine if the human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. You're counting them because someone told you to. Your body doesn't run on calories. It only runs on nutrition. This is what the researchers figured out after 40 years. You thought they would have figured it out a long time ago. So when you go on a diet, all you're doing is reducing the quantity of the food you're consuming or nutrients. For example, like a low-carb diet, you eliminate carbohydrates. Worst thing you could ever do, by the way, okay? But we'll get to that in a minute. So what they figured out was when you reduce the amount of food, you're reducing the amount of nutrition. When your brain figures out there's not enough nutrition via fuel, it goes in panic, starvation mode, and thinks you're starving to death, according to your brain, because you are from a nutritional standpoint. And since that's the only thing the body runs on, what does the brain do? It completely shuts down your access to the fuel in your fat cells and turns to your muscles for fuel, doing two of the most unhealthy things to you on earth. One, yes, your brain slows down your metabolism. I don't give a damn what you do if you're running, whatever. No, it's slowing down your metabolism. That's why you lose weight initially on these diets, and then it slows down, and then you hit a plateau, and then you get discouraged and you quit, and you gain all your weight back, but then you go on another diet. But the new diet is just the same. It's the same. It's just different day. Same story. It's some form of counting calories. Okay, so the researchers, what they figured out why this worked, they said, wait a minute, let's concentrate only on nutrition. Let's not worry about the quantity. Ultimately, the goal was, they didn't know for sure, could we give you less food by volume, quantity of food, right? But give you more nutrition. Okay, so they're considered the world's top nutrition research weight loss people in the world, right? They put together a food list, 30% of the food she consumed, but it wasn't based on calories. It was based on serving sizes, proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, fruits. Okay, not calories, right? But only 30% of what she consumed, all right? She got a grocery list, she took it to the store, boom. But the other 70%, this is the thing that changed everything, because these researchers, they don't have any products, they don't have a company, they're scientists, right? But they had found other researchers who had gone around the world in the last 20 years and found nutrients with huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So their first criteria they felt they met. They were going to give people less food, and let's see if we're really able to give them more nutrition, what would happen. Everybody got that? That's how simple this seems, right? Now, those food groups, some of the nutrients they got were from areas in the world where people are living to be over 100 years old and they didn't get sick. That's kind of what I want to be taking, right? Okay. So now they had the food groups. They had 30% from the grocery store and 70% from these, as the researchers called it, the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. So then they invented two new ways for her to consume it. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from dinner from the grocery store, fourth meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. So 5 days a week, she was having 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, she did something, listen to me carefully, intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these foods around the world, but this time they had her, and this is their description, they said we gave her nutrient-dense feedings 8 times a day. So she was getting these exotic foods around the world about every hour and a half, and look at the results. Do you know when they measured at the end of a month, none of these people lost any water weight, and they all gained on average 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise? Yeah, I had a big dust up with a trainer yesterday just telling me I was full of it. Well, the problem with trying to argue those silly points, it's medically proven. We've got the medical proof. As a matter of fact, you all can go at any point in time. You see right above her head there in blue, the new health conversation. It's a free medical website. If you go there, we will not contact you. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll, and it says free coaching. That's what it means. It means free coaching. You scroll down and you get a free coach, and they'll explain everything or any additional questions. Normally, 98% of all the questions are answered on the new health conversation. Now, not only will they coach you initially and to get your weight off, then they teach you how to maintain it, okay? The picture you're looking at there, it's about 8 or 9 years ago, and she's kept it off. But look at the transformation in her body. Look at the stomach area. That is 30 days, not 30 weeks. No gym. They weren't allowed to exercise. There were Fitbits proving they weren't exercising. I know this seems like science fiction to you, but hell, so does GPS, and we just accept it. And I like GPS. But think of the things we have in our modern world that we take for granted now. I mean, how am I talking on this computer to people all over the world? What? There's no wire. How does that work? We like it. I'm just telling you that this protocol, it's every diet is obsolete. If you're on this podcast today, and you're going to go, here's the thing. Most of you are going to go back and do paleo, keto, Mediterranean. You're going to count calories. You're going to do Jenny Craig Weight Watchers. It's all nonsense. None of it works. None. I mean, I got a study here from Johns Hopkins Medical School. Listen to this. Study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in 4.5 years. Does that sound to you like whatever diet you're doing, thinking about, was on? How many of you have gone on diets, lost weight, gained it all back, and just, or you say to me, I've tried everything. Not this, and it's not a diet. This is such a departure from calorie counting, any of that. I'm still waiting for anybody, Timothy, IFC, Pauline, One Yoda Bar, Aunt, Pauline, Marcia, Lifestyle King's on. That's cool. Jody's on, Sarazi's on. Wow, look at that. This program has changed our lives. Fantastic. Guchas. So again, we have 53 likes. Come on, can we get some taps on that screen to get the likes up? So again, I want you all to understand, this is not a diet. Again, I'm still waiting. No one has put the definition of a calorie in the chat. Why are you counting calories when you have no idea what a calorie even is, or what it might be, or what it isn't, or what, I mean, I was the same way, trust me, all right? Now, do any of you believe, we're almost to 100 likes. That's great. Let's get some more. Let's really get this thing going this morning here. So who would like to ask a question other than, let me do this. I'm going to walk through like this 4 or 5 more before and afters just to show you the variety of what's going on here. And then I'll come back and then I'll explain again. Yeah. I highly recommend getting more info. The world is desperately searching for these answers. This is it. And you can get the answers right there at that free health, the website, The New Health Conversation. Right there, you can see it, The New Health Conversation. Now, let's look at some more people. Let's look at Christine. 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. No exercise, not Photoshop, no AI, just right there. Aren't you? Look at her hip area. Just look at that. Look at her hip, stomach, abdomen. She shrank with no exercise, no sit-ups, no crunches, no just this protocol. That's what the researchers set out to do. Not that they were against exercise, but what if we could come up with something to produce those kind of results without exercise? All right. Now let's go here to. This is the daughter of a friend of mine. So it's not photoshopped, although you'll think it's a different person, a different woman. Okay. Look at this, everybody. 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach area. Now, I'd love some comments on that. What do you all think about that? Is it a different woman? Is it real? Oh my God, it's going to be unhealthy. That's doctored somehow. No, it's not doctored. It's not edited. It's not anything. It's the real. Yeah, Cerisi, yeah. She looks great. How is she so toned? Again, like I told you, okay, so I hope you all won't get crazy, and I'm going to explain to you, how do you make muscle in your body? Yeah, lifting weights and resistance training. But without one of what are called the 9 essential amino acids. So let me get a little sciencey on you. You have 9 essential amino acids, which pretty much if you didn't have them, we couldn't continue to make new cells. 11 are non-essential, total of 20, okay? But one of the 9 essential amino acids is called leucine, okay? You can look it up. And leucine is responsible for what's called body protein synthesis. It's a big fancy word, meaning how the body makes new muscles, okay? That's why it's so important. You'll see these bodybuilders, they'll take like a gram of protein for every pound they weigh, or 2 pounds, because they're trying to get more amino acids, but really they're trying to get more leucine, okay? So in the studies, one of the things that they proved was that, well, they found a source of protein where, see, with the protein itself doesn't build muscle. It has nothing to do with that. It is only the amino acid contained within the protein. Imagine protein like a walnut shell. You ingest the protein, the body breaks open the shell, it extracts all 20 amino acids. You think that's great. The only thing that matters to your body is what percentage, 0 to 100, of those amino acids are being used by your body to remake us. For example, we will remake the lining of our stomach twice this month. We'll make 2 new livers this year. We'll turn over almost every cell in our body once every 7 years. That doesn't happen with fats, it doesn't happen with carbohydrates, and it doesn't happen with protein itself. It only happens with the amino acids inside. Now you're going to understand how she got so toned. So the point is that if you ingest, where do you get proteins? Well, you can get them from plants or you can get them from animals, okay? This is going to make vegans mad, but I'm just a scientist giving you the facts, okay? In Europe, about 8 or 9 years ago, they developed a test. When you ingest a protein from a plant or an animal, they could tell you got all 20 amino acids. Jay, that sounds good. It's not. Then they measured what percentage of those amino acids were being used by our body to make human protein. This will blow your minds, everybody. We have 22,000 genes in our body. We make daily 22,000 different kinds of proteins, and we only make those with amino acids. We don't make them with proteins. We don't make them with fats. We don't make them with carbohydrates. So when they measured through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis what percentage of the aminos was actually being used by our genes, vegan proteins, plant-based proteins are only 15% absorption. 85% is waste that the body has to get rid of. All meat, steak, chicken, liver, fish, turkey, swordfish, I don't care what it is, 30%. She was able to take a protein source that the researchers found that came from the far reaches of the world where the absorption of the amino acids was 91%. That's how come she got toned. Because that amino acid leucine, listen, we put people, quadriplegics on this and they gain lean muscle mass. I mean, yes, exercise is good, but it's not the answer. I mean, again, you're going to make way more muscle if you have more leucine. It's that simple, okay? So that's why she's so toned. Does that make sense to you? I hope that answered your question. Yeah, she looks so proud of herself. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's look at this. This is this is an older gentleman, right? How about 40 pounds and 52.5 inches in 30 days? But look at his lab work, everybody. His A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, his triglycerides from 242 to 124 in 30 days with no Look at his stomach. Now you can think we faked it or he sucked it in. He didn't suck in anything. And that's with no exercise. And that picture's from 8 or 9 years ago, and he's kept the weight off. Wow, we're getting lots of likes. Keep clicking on that screen, everybody. We're at 2,000. Now, I'm going to start over again. And here's why. At any point, all of you, I'm just going to invite you to do this. That website, you can see it above her head in blue, the new health conversation. It's free to go there. We won't contact you. We're not going to contact you if you go there. We're going to let the medical proof speak for itself. Then if you decide, not us, that you want to know more or how to, maybe even how to get started, you can, free coaching. I'm not kidding, it's free. It's not just initially, but all the way through to get you to maintenance. The only reason to do this is to maintain what success you're going to have. Otherwise, why does it make any sense? You all have done that on diets. You've yo-yoed. We're stake in the ground, no more yo-yoing. Stake in the ground, no more calorie counting. Stake in the ground, new opportunity to change the rest of your life. We always say when people start this, it's called R2M, in the sense of race to maintenance. It can be the first day of the rest of your life. That's not some marketing slogan. That's based on the scientific proof. I mean, we've got 10 peer-reviewed. Is it possible to have too much? Too much, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Michael. Too much of what? You mean amino acids? No. No. Because again, your body's pretty amazing. What it doesn't, if it can't use it, then it excretes it. See, that's the problem with proteins. Protein itself is like the walnut shell, okay? So you ingest the protein, the body breaks open the protein and extracts the amino acids. But what's not converted to an amino acid is waste, toxins, that then your kidneys have to get rid of, okay? So the point is so for example, with a protein, because this protein that they found from the far reaches of the world, it had a 91% absorption. It was very, very little waste for the body to deal with. So no, it's not. Here's a better way to think about it, Michael. It's more efficient. So for example, I'm sure you would agree with this. If you went today to fill up your car, assuming you had a gas car, and they had two pumps. Pump number one says this gallon will take you 20 miles. Pump number two says this gallon will take you 100 miles. Well, I think we don't have to be too smart to figure out that if you could get 100 miles to the gallon, way less wear and tear, way less pollution. The body is a machine. It works the same way. And the thing is, this is from a great book called The New American Diet, where they talked about nutrition and calories and things. But let me just read this one passage. The more nutrition you give your body, the fewer calories it wants to eat, and the more efficiently it burns the calories you do eat. Isn't that great? Well, this has nothing to do with these researchers. This is called The New American Diet. I didn't write it. You can buy it if you want to. It's a great book. But they were just talking about this whole nonsense that calories in, calories out is dead, over. And here's why the calorie argument for all of you is so ridiculous, okay? If we're talking about all these people that want to come on, of course it's about calorie deficit. Really? Okay. Well, then let's just say we agreed we're going to go on a diet, and you have two choices for the diet. It has to be 2,000 calories a day. Okay, we got that. So behind door number one is a diet with 2,000 calories, salads, vegetables, fruits, proteins, etc. Got it? 2,000 calories. Now remember, their argument is it's only about how many calories. Okay. Well, behind door number two, the same 2,000 calories is what? 3 bags of M&Ms. Do you see the lunacy in that argument? And the other problem with that, the human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't know what a calorie is. The body's not counting calories. You are. It's the most ridiculous thing. We've all been brainwashed for years, counting these stupid calories. Why? I'm still waiting for someone to tell me the definition of a calorie. And we've been on now almost a half hour. No, it just points out. I mean, seriously, you're watching influencers on social media. They're telling you to do things. That's their opinion. Where's the medical proof of whether it's keto or paleo or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating or carnivore? I don't care what it is. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about your entrusting your health, your future to opinions? Now, I should be honest with you. I've been a nutrition researcher for 23 years. That's not what I need to be honest with you about. I've written 4 best-selling books, 20 shows on PBS, and I did 1,500 live lectures around the world in universities and hospitals and towns. Heck, they even flew me to China. I'm telling you that because for 22 of my 24 years, or 23 years, not one medical doctor would look at this. Because they said, well, it's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast, et cetera. Well, in the last 14 or 15 months, these 10 peer-reviewed studies have come out. We got medical doctors and physician's assistants and RNs and dietitians and nutritionists and weight loss people and athletes all swarming to this. This is the solution. If you're doing anything other than this, why? I mean, if any of you, I'm just curious. I just want to ask you. You don't even have to answer if you don't want to. But if you're going to, here's the rules. You can go to any gym, any trainer, celebrity we see online, go on any diet you choose to lose 25 pounds. How long would you give yourself and thinking you did a great job to lose 25 pounds? I'd love for someone. You basically have, it's not really at sea level. That doesn't matter. It's simply 1 degree. You're 795. I'm very, very impressed. Somebody said, I'm thrilled not to count calories. Honest to God, 795. In a year, maybe you're the 3rd person that ever got the definition right. But again, see, he or she, I'm not sure who it is, but that's wonderful. Thank you for doing that. That's right. Yeah, leucine. No, it's leucine, Surratt. Look it up, leucine. Leucine. Okay, leucine. So what's her source? Her source actually comes from New Zealand, to be quite honest with you. But the other thing you have to understand, it's the combination, it's the source in combination with other nutrients that they took in that part of the world that allowed the protein to go to it's almost be gone, to almost evaporate, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Lisa? But you have to understand, it's not just one thing. There were, first of all, we need a new definition of food, okay? Yes, we eat food because it tastes good, but the only reason you eat food is what's in it, the nutrition, okay? So nutrition comes in various forms, right? You can eat food, you can chew it, break it down, the saliva starts the digestive process, it goes into the body and breaks down to extract the nutrients, right? Or in many of these cases, what they found that these people around the world were, a lot of what they consumed was not chewing. It was actually drinking or swallowing, like a tea or something like that. And that was really the primary base. So it's not like, oh, there was a different kind of kale or there was a different kind of spinach no, it didn't really work like that. It's a little bit complicated, but look at the results. Look at the results. And you can't buy these kind of foods in a normal grocery store, even at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or Sprouts, where I actually do most of my shopping. And I do organic, but believe it or not because it's more nutritious. I do it because it's less polluted. Because 200 studies prove that organic is slightly better than regular food nutritionally, but not only 10 or 15%. But it's way less polluted in terms of herbicides and pesticides, et cetera. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank my high school physics teacher. No, but you understand, I'm congratulating you because that's so, I mean, you understand why I get, crazy here? I mean, I'm crazy anyway, but listen, why are people counting calories when they have no idea what it is? Is it just me or is that like, so $7.95, do you get that? You get it, right? But listen, everybody, he or she just proved a calorie. It's not, when you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. How could you be? It's the most ridiculous thing they've ever, and we're all brainwashed. Well, I'm not anymore, but I mean, can anybody on here put a diet that it's not some form, energy reduction, thermodynamics, calories in, calories out, total nonsense. Total and utter nonsense. It makes me laugh because it's like, really? Go to the mall this weekend. Go to Walmart, Kmart, Costco, Target. Look at America. I mean, they're projected in 4.5 years, 86% of us are going to be overweight or obese. Does that sound like any of you this is working? You could change your life starting today or not. The website is right there above our heads, free. The New Health Conversation. Why wouldn't you go look at the medical evidence? My God, the medical studies are there. You can't fake a peer-reviewed human trial study. Oh, they'll do a scientific paper. That doesn't mean a damn thing. That's like a dress rehearsal. No, the real deal is a peer-reviewed human trial study done on human beings and vetted. You can understand the journals, like the obesity journal, they don't analyze the researcher's work. They determine if it's worthy to be researched. They send it out to other world-class experts. That's what peer review means. And what's their job? To discredit what these people are proving because the journal's reputation rests on them publishing the facts. It's not advertised. It's not. These journals aren't companies. They're research sites. They're basically, that's why no drug you ever, thank God, drugs get vetted through what? Peer-reviewed human trial studies, not rats, mice, monkeys, whatever. No, human beings. They take a long time. They cost a lot of money. If any of these people you're following, think about it. Forget me for a moment. Ask yourself, why am I following someone telling me to do keto with no medical proof? Or the only medical proof, for example, like on keto, I'll read it to you right now. This is about low carb diets. They said, this is a study in nutrients, by the way, okay? Exposure to low carbohydrate diets is associated with big reductions in lean muscle mass and increased osteoporosis risk in obese individuals. Really? Keto? That sounds like great. Do you see how wacky this all is? I don't know any other way to describe it. We're like we're on the Titanic. We've hit an iceberg. Yes, that sound was we hit an iceberg. Now, you can believe it's unsinkable. There were people that stayed on deck thinking it wasn't going to sink. How'd it turn out? Not too well. I mean, can anybody really argue for dieting? When you're looking at Johns Hopkins Medical School, in 4.5 years, they say 86% of Americans will be overweight or obese. Where in 2000, it was about 62%. So it's going from 62% in 2000. 30 years later, they're projecting it's going to be at almost 87% overweight and obese. Honestly, I'd love for someone to put in the chat, does that sound to you like diets are working or not? Because I know what most of you are going to do. You're not going to believe. I don't want you to believe me. I'm the researcher of the researchers. It's not my research. But when you've got peer-reviewed human trial studies, why in the world wouldn't you look at the medical proof instead of an opinion? I don't give you opinions. I don't want you to believe me. I'm the researcher of the researchers. It's not my research, but we're bringing it to you for free at that website. Why wouldn't you go there and look at it? I mean, really, why wouldn't you? So, haha, gut feeling. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. So 795, look, 795, I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But 795, unless I'm lying to you, aren't you a little bit curious as a human being that website could unlock your future? This is R2M. It's called Race to Maintenance. The whole key to this, like that picture there is like 8 or 9 years old, and everybody in these pictures has kept it off for 8 or 9 years with no, with ease. Look, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 weeks. But look at any of these. Like Kristen, 21 pounds in 38 inches. Now that's from her neck to her ankles, by the way. Let me clarify that, right? It wasn't 38 inches off her waist, okay? And then Julie, look at that transformation. That's 37 days. I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be this obesity epidemic. Yeah, exactly. Oh, excuse me. Allergies. Okay, sorry, everybody. So 795, it's like, why wouldn't you go and look at the free medical proof? What do you have to lose? It's not a pun, by the way, right? I mean, aren't you curious to see the medical proof? And here's the biggest thing for all of you. On the website, the New Health Conversation, you can see it right there. There's an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. Not only does he explain this breakthrough that they invented and they have no products to sell, they don't have a company, they don't have any supplements, this isn't product. They put together these food combinations and created new ways of consuming food that are going to change. They're making there's no reason. If you go to that site, I'll challenge all of you. You go to that site, look at everything on there. If you still want to count calories, God love you. The evidence, it's so overwhelming, you're going like, oh my God, what have I been doing all these years? Why am I wasting my time? You're wasting your time counting calories. As a matter of fact, again, let's not believe me. Let's go to Medicare, everybody. Big new study from Medicare trying to bring healthcare costs down. The study is titled Medicare's Search for Effective Obesity Treatments. Their quote, not mine, diets are not the answer. They went on to say, our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calories in, calories out restrictive diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on their diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? This is Medicare saying diets don't work. Ironically, shameless plug for me, I did write a big best-selling book back in 2010 called Why Diets Are Failing Us, 15 years ago. Now Medicare is coming out and saying, guess what? Diets are not the answer. Really? I mean, this really is my book. And there's no books to buy on that site, by the way. We're not trying to sell you books. The reason we developed the site was because we could continually update. If there was new science, we could put it on there. I couldn't edit books fast enough for the science that's evolving. You saw, I mean, if you didn't see yesterday, look up what's happening to our children's health. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because why? Because we have Pebbles and Frosted Flakes and these cartoons on Saturday morning. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in the United States, for sure, the kids are inundated with these commercials, and they want Lucky Charms, and they want, I mean, essentially these cereals are dead flakes in a cardboard coffin, and you literally be better off having your kids eat the box. At least they get some fiber. I'm not kidding you. I mean, we're at a crisis point, and what do we keep doing? It's paleo, it's keto, it's Mediterranean, it's time-restricted eating, it's carb recycling, it's count your macros, it's diet and exercise, it's 10,000 steps, on and on and on. None of it's working, ladies and gentlemen. None of it is working. This is the first breakthrough ever for diet, obesity, and health with 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies to back it up. Please tell me, anyone, tell me whatever diet you're on. Show me the medical proof that it works long term. What would it be? I get, again, nice people, these trainers, they're so dedicated to their people. That's great. But again, if you're telling people to do something that is absolutely proven with a 2/3 chance that whatever diet you're on and lose weight, you're going to gain back more weight than you lost, they're not sustainable. That's the proof. Now, you can all get mad at me and think that I don't make up anything. I only quote real medical proof. So let's see who else is on here. Wow, someone's saying, I was so skeptical when I heard about this, so glad I checked this out. Changed my life. Hey, we got 4,000. Oh, somebody sent me a rose. Thank you very much. 4,000 likes. You can see it up there in the. Hey, can we get some more taps on the screen? Let's get the likes way up. But now I know a lot of you that are coming on, you're still saying, okay, get to the point. We want to know how they did it. So here's how they did it. How did she do it? Well, let's go to Kristen. This is even a better example because that's more, I guess, doable for all of you. But if you could lose 5 pounds a week and 38 inches in 30 days with no exercise, would you want to know how in the heck she did it? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. First, understand why diets are doomed to failure. The human body has no idea what a calorie is. And when you're counting calories, I don't know why you're counting calories. The only thing your body cares about is nutrition. And right now, even if you're not on a diet, there's a minimum amount of nutrition that you need in order to run all your organs. The organs run on nutrition. They don't run on calories, okay? If you're finding yourself being really hungry, you're nutrient deficient, not calorie deficient. Let me explain that to you, right? The calorie means nothing. It's just a measurement. It's the amount of heat. The nice person that figured this out, a calorie is simply the amount of heat it takes to raise 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. That's it. It's not a real thing. What the body cares about is nutrition. So when you go on a diet, what are you really doing? You're lowering the amount of food you're consuming. You're lowering the amount of nutrition. Does this make sense to everybody? When the brain senses you've dropped below the minimum amount to supply the fuel for the body, the brain freaks out, goes in starvation mode, and immediately stops accessing the fuel in your fat cells and turns to your muscles for fuel and does 2 of the most unhealthy things to yourself you could do. One, it slows down your metabolism. That's why initially you lose all this weight on these diets, and then it slows down, then it's a trickle, then you plateau. And no matter what you do, you can't lose any more weight. So then you give up, you go off the diet, and you gain everything back, and you look for a new diet doing the same thing. All these diets are based on one principle, reducing the amount of food you're consuming. They disguise it, organize it. When they were doing Weight Watchers, you were counting points. It was just another fancy way to count calories, which mean nothing. So the researchers said, all right, we need to figure out a new way to do it. Can we give you less food, but find foods with way more nutrition? That's what they really did. So they created a grocery list that all these people got. Only 30% of what she consumed came from the grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, vegetables, right? But the researchers said, okay, we're going to give you serving sizes, not calories. Does everybody get that, right? So it told her how much protein to have, how much carbohydrate to have, how much fruit to have, etc., based on serving sizes. But only 30% of what she consumed in a month. She got a grocery list. The other 70% came from these foods around the world where they had huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So it was nutritional density over quantity. All right, so now the foods that they found were in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. Now these researchers didn't find them because the researchers don't sell anything. They don't have a company. They're scientists. But they found these other researchers that had gone around the world to find these nutrients, some of which come from areas in the world where people living to be 100 years old and don't get sick. I'm kind of interested in that. So 30% of what you consume in a month came from the grocery store. The other 70%, if you decide to do it, you would buy directly from those suppliers, not from us, not from the researchers, right? Then they invented 2 different ways that they consumed food. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day, 4. Starting with these, I call them exotic foods from around the world. Breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods. Got it? So those 5 days are called protein pacing. every week until she got to her goal. We'll get to that in a moment, like what happens when you get to your goal. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not fasting. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these, what the researchers called these nutrient-dense feedings. Only this time, they had her eating 8 times a day. What? Yeah, she was eating every hour and a half. Now, there were lots of diabetics on this, no insulin spikes, no insulin drops. Their blood sugars were normalized. Because really now, what the researchers figured out, the body, whether it's on a protein pacing day or it's now on this new intermittent nutritional fasting days, it's the sequence over what period of time, how much separation in between the feedings. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. That's what they figured out and proved, and you can see the results. They're on the website. Let me show it to you again, everybody. There it is in blue, the new health conversation. I'm going to put it in the chat down at the very bottom as well. The new health conversation. If I can just post it here in 1 second. Hold on. Oh, there it is. You can all see it at the bottom. The new health did I spell it right? Yeah, the new health conversation, or above her name. Probably one of the most significant things there. The medical studies are there. That's obviously a big deal. But an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. For 40 years, over 100 studies, thousands of people, they are the ones that cracked the code on this and figured this out. And wow, think about how simple the answer was. Simply put, if we gave the body, if we based everything on how much nutrition we consumed, not how much food we consumed, there was the secret. Now, you look at the other people, you look at like Kristen, 21 pounds, 38 inches in a month, or Julie, that's 35 pounds in 37 days without any photoshopping, nothing touched, and with no exercise. I mean, look at her shoulders, stomach, legs. She literally shrank. Where's the loose skin? But the more amazing one, I think, is this is the daughter of a friend of mine. This is his daughter, who I know. Look at that, everyone. I'd love some comments. 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her waist. A lot of people think it's a different woman, that we substituted a woman. Nah, we didn't. We don't have to do that. I mean, we don't have to play games with you, right? Yeah, so people are really vibing on this, exactly. So I'd love any of the rest of you just to give me a comment. What do you think about that? What do you think about that result? Assuming that's not Photoshop, which it isn't. She didn't exercise. Aren't you all interested in how she did that? And then this is really remarkable. This is an older gentleman, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. Look at his lab work. A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides from 242 to 124 in 30 days, everybody. 30 days. Does that just seem like crazy? So again, who would like to ask me a question? I'm going to put it down on the bottom again. Here's the website you can all go to if you choose. And if you go to that website, we're not going to contact you, so don't worry about that. Only way that we'll contact you is if you go there and like what you see, then you can scroll down and get a free coach that'll coach you the entire time, get your weight off, and teach you how to maintain it. The program is called R2M, Race to Maintenance. That's the only reason to do it, is to maintain your success. So again, if that's the same woman, doesn't that make you all curious? How in the world is that possible? Is it safe? Is it unhealthy? Is it Photoshop? No, it's not. It's absolutely 100% real. So again, who would like to ask me a question? The other thing I want to educate all of you, as long as we're waiting for more questions, the real reason to do this is because, and you're seeing more and more in the national press about something that I actually discovered. So myself and you and every person you know and your kids, everybody has this new medical syndrome. It's called the TDOS syndrome. T for toxicity, D for deficiency, O for being overweight, and S is for stress. And originally there was an I at the end of this for inflammation. It was called TDOSI. But then the government came out and made inflammation a disease. So I don't make disease claims. So we're not curing, treating, diagnosing, and making any medical claims. But what this means is, TDOS, is that we're all storing chemicals in our fat cells in our body. That's not up for debate. I mean, that's what's happening. And they're finding we're storing things like herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon and flame retardants in our bodies. These researchers did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving that this protocol was assisting our body in removing chemicals from us. That's why you see the shrinkage, because as we can't avoid it, as the chemicals enter our body, first presented to the liver. Our livers are so overwhelmed now, they estimate nearly 40% of Americans have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's not from drinking. Because the liver is trying to process all these chemicals, and it's literally enrobing the chemicals inside of fat cells, and that's why fatty liver disease, right? But the other thing that's happening, because the liver just can't process all these chemicals we're coming into contact with daily, the chemical is then out in the body, and the body takes it and stuffs it into your fat cells. And see, fat cells, this whole thing about you burn fat, it's all nonsense. There's no such thing. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain amount of fat cells, and your fat cells either expand or contract. How many of you have gained weight and can't believe how much fat you have on your body? Because your body's trying to protect you by storing the chemicals in the fat cells. The shrinkage you're seeing here was proven in the studies when they measured blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving that this protocol was helping the body remove the chemicals. That's the main reason to do this. The weight loss is like this throw-in. It's like the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, I guess, in a sense. It's probably a bad analogy, but you know what I hope you get the context of what I'm saying. This is not a diet. There's nothing like this. Mrs. Coach Parker, hello. Okay, passive. The program itself, passive. See right above her. Let me put it below your name just to make it easier for you. The idea is we wanted to provide you free, non-hassled access to the medical research and the medical proof, including an interview. There it is right there, the new health conversation. I actually spelled it right. So passive, you go there, look at everything. If you like, you get to, we will not contact you passive if you go there. We don't do that. But if you like what you see, scroll down, you get a free coach, and they'll go over. And part of the reason that we do, not the biggest reason we do the free consultations and free coaching, you've never done anything like this before, plus we don't know anything about you. Do you know all of you, we have kids as young as 2 doing parts of this. We have a lady 91, we have an 80-year-old, she's lost 91 pounds at 80 years old. And 10 months ago, she couldn't climb a flight of stairs. Now she's playing pickleball 3 times a week, swimming 3 times a week, and walking 4 or 5 miles a day. 91 pounds at 80 years old. We have people with no thyroids. We have people with, we have a guy with a heart transplant. We have people with no gallbladders. We have people with kidney transplants. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical proclamations. We always suggest you check with your health professional before embarking on any health nutrition program. Okay, so let me just get that out of the way. But again, unless you think, so passive, does that make sense? Please give me a yes that you understand, and you can see it above her head there in Bluetooth, the new health conversation. No spaces, just the new health conversation. If you like what you see, then you can get a coach, get all your questions answered, and decide if you want to give it a go. Because it's based on your individual, what do you really want to accomplish? Because we have people that weigh 500 pounds. Like I said, we have a 2-year-old. We have athletes. There are people on this that want to gain weight. It's not a weight loss program. It's about maximizing your quality of life potential, your health. Isn't your health your wealth? Passive. Is there anything more valuable to you than your health? What would it be? I just think our health is our wealth. And we're so cavalier with it. If you're following influences on social media, nice people, medical doctors, chiropractors, dietitians, where's their medical proof about what they're telling you? Don't buy this nonsense. Calories in, calories out. We're going to show you how to reduce your calories. It's just, what? I mean, it's just nuts. It's crazy. The human body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. You're counting calories for what reason? Honest to God, for what reason? Okay, passive. So passive, do you find this interesting, intriguing? Are you interested? Are you looking to lose weight? And passive, honestly, if you wanted to lose, let's just say 20 pounds, you could go to any trainer, any gym, any diet, and you did great passive. How long would you give yourself to lose 20 pounds? I'm just curious about what your opinion would be. Any of you are welcome to put that in the chat. I ask this every time. Yeah, Kiefer. But do you understand, Kiefer, the human body has no idea? Well, Kiefer, can I ask you a question? Why would you be counting calories? Guess who doesn't count calories, Kiefer? Your body. It doesn't have any idea what a calorie even is. Kiefer, were you on when the nice person came on and gave the definition of a calorie? I challenged everybody and said, okay, you're all counting calories. What's a calorie? I've had 2 people in the last year get the answer right. I didn't know what it was 23 years ago either. I'm going to be honest. And I'm a nutritional researcher for 23 years. I wrote 4 best-selling books, 20 shows on PBS, 1,500 live lectures around the world. I've lectured in hospitals, and I asked the doctors, what's the definition of a calorie? Never had one that knew what a calorie was. So again, I'd say, I think it's Kelfer. Calorie counting is exhausting. But again, I would ask you, why are you counting calories? What you're looking at here had nothing to do with calorie counting. It had to do with serving sizes and nutritional density. If you all understood something, basically imagine if you had a choice for your car. You pulled into a gas station, they only had 2 gas pumps. Pump number 1 says, this gallon will take you 20 miles. Pump number 2 says, this gallon will take you 100 miles. This stuff is the 100-mile-an-hour gas. But again, you're all going to go on diets and you're just putting 20 miles to the gallon, so you're constantly hungry. It doesn't have to be that way. Hell, these people's hunger went down 41% in 30 days. In 2 weeks, most of them lost all their cravings because they were never craving calories. They were craving nutrition. And what the researchers did, they figured it out after 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people. They analyzed every diet out there, and sadly, 2/3 of everybody on every diet they ever put anybody on gained back more weight than they lost. Because the main thing you lose on a diet by counting calories, your brain figures out, it doesn't even know what a calorie is. It measures nutrition. When you go on a diet, what are you doing? You're reducing the amount of food you're consuming, which means what? You're reducing the amount of nutrition. The brain thinks you're starving to death. It goes in emergency mode, stops you from accessing the fuel in your fat cells and turns to your muscles for fuel, doing 2 of the most unhealthy things on the planet. It slows down your metabolism, but more importantly, it slows down your own immune system. So the diets you're on right now is making yourself unhealthy. Now, maybe that makes you mad. Maybe you think I'm full of it. I'm not. I'm a scientist. I mean, this is a known commodity, and yet we continue to count calories. As a matter of fact, I would say almost every person on this podcast today, you're going to go back to keto. I don't know. I mean, the brainwashing we've gone under is just it's just a complete insane asylum. Okay, Marlo. Well, Kelfer, does it make sense? I guess that's the most important thing. Do you understand why counting calories is totally ridiculous? So Marlo, what you can do, I'm going to type it for you. You go to the new health, no spaces, conversation. And if you go there, Marlo, we're not going to contact you. So don't think you're going there and you're going to get a phone call from us. We want you to be in charge of your own health, okay? Look at what's on the website. You can also see it above her head there, the new health conversation. Do you see that, Marlo88? I want to make sure you understand how simple this is. You click on that link, you get to see all the medical proof, and then if you like what you see, scroll down and there's a place to register for a free consult with a coach. Marlo, the coaching is not just free initially, but all the way through, and then teaching you how to maintain it. Marlo, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. The picture you're looking at there, that was 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. That's why the program, we didn't name it. It's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. Marlo, does that make sense? So you're saying, yes, you understand where to go, correct? I want all of you to understand that. I know it sounds too good to be true. I didn't even tell all of you the best part. So 30% of what she spent at the grocery store, good, Marlo. So Marlo, listen, 30% of what you would spend money-wise from your grocery store. So let's say whatever you spent last month, 30% of it would go to the grocery store. The other 70%, maybe a little bit more, would go to buy these foods that come from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities. I know that sounds crazy. That was the whole key to this. Could we give people less food by quantity, but increase nutrition? And that's what they did. For example, Marlo, they don't give you calorie counting, they give you serving sizes. And this was calculated by the top nutrition researchers in the world. who have no products. They don't have a company. They're scientists. They spent 40 years to figure this out. Look at the results. Look at this, Marlo. This is 30 days, 21 and a half inches, but she only had 35 pounds to lose. But look at her stomach area. Look at her hips. How do you Photoshop your hips? I don't know. Oh, I guess you could. But see, look at that. Look, they're all saying it's revolutionary. Do you all understand you could change your lives today in the next 5 minutes? I mean, how about this is real, not photo. You'll think it's a different woman. It's the daughter of a friend of mine who's a realtor. I'm not Photoshopping her picture. Look at that. Marlo, what do you think? Marlo, 60 pounds in 3 months? Marlo, is it the same woman? All of you, please. Elmira, question. Okay, Elmira, did you have a question or you're questioning whether it's the same woman? So what she do to became like this? Oh, okay. Well, so Marlo, what do you? I mean, Marlo, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But honestly, do you think it's the same woman? So Elmira, I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay, so what did they all do? Not just her, but the other people. So let's go back to the beginning. No one contacted me yet. All right, I'll make sure today that someone. Are you sure you didn't get a text or something? I promise, Anita. I'll check as soon as I hang up again. I'm almost positive. I can't believe. No, I can. Maybe it's up to the cracks. We'll make sure that you're covered. Okay. But I want to explain to Elmira how she did this. So it was a real simple principle. The problem with diets is our food is almost nutritionally bankrupt. So when you go on a diet, reduce the amount of food you're consuming. They call it calorie counting, which is nonsense because the body doesn't know what a calorie is. The researchers said, can we give you new foods that we will pick that have huge amounts of nutrition but not large amounts of quantity? So 30% of what she consumed came from a grocery list, Elmira. You'd take it to the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Only 30%. The other 70% came from foods from around the world, from places like Russia and Mongolia and Tibet and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, that had huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of food. I mean, as far as the quantity went, right? Then they created 2 new ways to consume the food. 5 days a week, which we would teach you, you'd eat 4 times a day. You'd start with only these foods from around the world, nothing from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list. Dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner, these foods around the world. Well, think about it right away. What diet are you on where they let you have 4 meals a day? What diet would that be? No diet, right? 2 days a week, you do something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. You'd be fasting with nutrition. Now, how did they do that? They had her have no food from the grocery store, only these foods from around the world, and she had a meal, she ate 8 times a day. So she was eating every hour and a half. Diabetics, for example, no insulin spikes, no problem, wonderful results with diabetics. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, making any medical claims. But in the studies, insulin in a 30-day period for the diabetics came down 41%. This has never been seen before. So that's the short version, Elmira. And what you can do to learn about this, you can go to, let me show it to you. So you notice right above her head there, hopefully you can see that, Elmira, in blue, the New Health Conversation. That's the free medical website. You go there, you get to look at all the medical evidence. If you like what you see, scroll down and sign up for a free consultation available to the world, available to everybody watching this podcast. You can share that website with your friends. They don't have to be on my podcast to see the medical proof. We're not here to convince anybody. We're not here to sell. We don't have time to do that. We let the medical proof do the talking. Elmira, does that make sense? Do you understand? And I understand it's a little bit more detailed than that, but let me assure you too, all of you. But Elmira, if you do it, you get this is what the researchers developed for the people taking the program, and these are all videos daily not from me, from the researchers explaining to you what you're doing, why you're doing it, and medically why it's safe. See, Elmira, the most important thing, this is safe. Let me show you one of the men here. Look at this. Now, he lost That's 10 pounds a week he lost. But look at his lab work, his A1C. Remember the blood sugar I told you about? It went from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days. Elmira, the rest of you, have anyone ever seen anything like this? 10 pounds a week with no exercise? Look at his stomach. That's 30 days with no exercise. Now are you all curious? Are you interested? Are you all right? Good, Elmira. Wonderful. And for the rest of you, look at her stomach, everybody. In 30 days, all the bloating's gone. Why? Because what we're doing, this is a medical syndrome that I suffer from and every one of you do. Elmira, every one of you, called TDOS. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. It's a registered trademark U.S. patent office. Yes, Peter Greenlaw, I did discover it. What it means is that we're breathing, drinking, eating chemicals, and as they enter our body, the body first presents them to the liver. The liver can't handle them all, so then the toxins are free. The last thing the body does is take the toxin and stuff it in our fat cells. That's why people complain not just about how much weight they've gained, but how much fat they have on their body. The body's evolving, trying to protect us. No diet touches this. These researchers, they did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, proving this was assisting the body in doing what? Removing the chemicals. That's why her stomach shrank. Does everybody get that? See, when they tell you burn fat, that's total, it's not true. You're born with a certain number of fat cells. You die with a certain number of fat cells. I don't care, exercise, run, do whatever you want. Your fat cells can shrink or they can expand, but they don't decrease. Well, look at what happened. Look at her stomach. That's detox. That's not dieting. That's not, no one, she wasn't allowed to exercise. No one exercised. They wore Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. How crazy is that, everybody? Is this just like unbelievable? Okay, so Patsy, go to, see the new health conversation? Do you see that, Patsy? Just confirm you see it, or I'll put it underneath your name too. The new, hold on, the new health conversation. And that website is free to go to, Patsy. And what you can do, if you go there, we won't contact you. So be clear. Got it? The new health conversation is above her head, and I just wrote it in the chat right below your name. When you go there, look at all the medical proof. If you like what you see, scroll down, then sign up for a free consultation with a coach. They'll show you, because look, we have people 2 years old doing this. We have a lady 91. We have a lady 80 who lost 91 pounds in about 8 months. We have people with no thyroids. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with no gallbladders. We have people with kidney transplants, and we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical proclamations, okay? But go there, take a look. It's free to go there. We won't contact you, Patsy. So just put a yes that you understand where to go and what to do. Does that make sense, Patsy? Please give me a yes so I know you understand. Right above her head, the new health conversation, or below your name, the new health conversation. So does that make sense, Patsy? Good. So who else would like to ask me a question? Oh, we're getting warmed up here. We're now at 5,000 likes. Thank you all very, very much. But for anybody else, if you like the content, tap on your screen and acknowledge. It's not for me so much, but it's the algorithm. It helps. We want to get this to as many people in the world as we can. This podcast right now is going all over the world. We've got people in, England and Madrid and Finland, and we got people in Indonesia, and I mean all over the world. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. I didn't know to online, please. Okay, hold on. Here it is. The new. Okay, so here's where you go. Hold on. Do you see it right there, Patsy? I just put it again, the new health conversation. You put that in Google, go there. If you like what you see, scroll down and you'll find you can get a coach for free if that's what you want to do, okay? Now do you understand, Patsy? Did I make myself clear? So who else would like to ask me a question or make a comment, etc.? Assuming you don't think, I mean, you all understand that is really the same woman. That really is 30 days. That really, look at her waist, look at her legs. I mean, every part of her changed. I don't know what to tell you. If you think I'm lying, okay, I can't do anything about that. But why would we need to Photoshop when this is real outcomes? Oh, good, Patsy, good. Morning, about to start soon. Spoke to a Colin, and I can't wait to start. You've seen, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that that's you have one of the best coaches, and I'm prejudiced, but that's good. Oh my gosh, Yassine, I'm excited for you. And Yassine, the main thing that I can tell you is make sure, and you would have, Yassine, you already, if you don't have it, you will get this. Follow this. This is your instructions. All of these yellows are daily videos explaining to you exactly what to do, why you're doing it, and most importantly, why it's safe. Okay? So this is really, so anybody doing this protocol, you get this. It's called the Blueprint of Success, which was developed by the researchers. This is what they gave to the people who were doing the protocols. Okay? And it's free coaching with a real live person. You actually get a real coach. It's not somebody at an 800 number checking off a number. They've done the protocol. They've been trained. They've helped lots and lots of people. Like Yassine, your coach, he's probably coached thousands of people over the course of 23 years, just to let you know. So all of our coaches are great. We have medical doctors. We have physician's assistants. We have RNs. We have dietitians, nutritionists, chiropractors, a whole bunch of people, because we all got coached. We didn't know how to do this. I'm excited as well. Good, good, good. Well, that's a great attitude to have. That's wonderful, wonderful. So who else would like to ask me a question? User 1900 just joined. Hello. So who else would like to? Can we get some more taps on that screen? We're at 5,000 likes. Let's get that thing way up there. I'm excited this morning. I really do want to share more with you. But let me explain to you that nothing that I'm sharing with you is my opinion for some of the new people coming on. What I want to point out to you is the medical research now shows that counting calories is basically dead. It's over. It's antiquated. It doesn't work. I'm going to read to you from one of many of the studies that I have proving that calorie counting, calories in, calories out, is just a complete waste of your time. Okay? Listen to what they're saying. This study is titled "The Science Behind Why Diets Don't Work." Notice they said diets don't work, okay? Let me read from this. This is what they're saying in the studies. We reviewed more than 30 long-term studies on calories in, calories out that show that going on a calorie in, calorie out diet actually causes weight gain. Did you hear what I just said, everybody? Let me read it again. A review of more than 30 long-term studies showed that calorie counting actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does dieting not work for the long-term weight loss, but it's also associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. What are you doing, everybody? You're going on diets to gain weight, 2/3 of you? Now, let's not just go to one study. Let's go to Medicare. Medicare. New study. Title: Medicare's Search for Effective Obesity Treatments. Diets are not the answer. This is from Medicare, for crying out loud, not me. Listen to what they said. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calories in, calories out restrictive diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on their diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? No, what are you doing? Counting calories. You understand you're doomed to failure. 2/3 you're going to weigh more than when you started. You'd be better off stop. Don't even go on a diet. No, I'm serious. The medical science says that. It says why. I mean, we have people like here's why calorie counting can't work. Here's a medical explanation, not mine, from scientists. Here's what they say. The biggest failing of the calories in, calories out formula for losing weight is it ignores that the body adjusts its control systems when calorie intake is reduced. So while the calories in, calories out formula can support people achieving weight loss initially, the reduction in energy intake ensures the lost weight will be regained and more. I mean, you're going on a diet to gain weight. Does that sound like that smart approach for all of you? Any of you? I mean, how in the world do you think Johns Hopkins Medical School now is projecting that in 4.5 years, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Is that just, I mean, what are you doing? You're doing what you know about. You don't know about this, but you can learn right there above her head, the New Health Conversation. Not only is that a free medical website, but there's an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world who invented this. And you know what's cool? He doesn't have a company, or they don't have a company. They don't have any products. This is not about products. They invented, through their research, new food combinations. 30% from the United States and 70% from these faraway places in Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, that represented huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge quantities of food. And then they invented 2 new different ways for her to consume food and all the people. So what they did is 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day, starting with these exotic foods around the world, no food from the grocery store list, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner, third meal from the grocery, and a fourth meal after dinner, these world's most perfect foods. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these foods from around the world. But this time, they had her eating 8 times a day. She was having something every hour and a half. Now, the diabetics thrived on this. There were no insulin spikes, etc. This is incredible. This is going to change everything. This, what they invented called R2M, just so you all know, it's called race to maintenance. It's made every diet obsolete. As of right now, any diet you're on is completely obsolete. It won't work. I mean, at a minimum, you're gonna end up weighing when you started, and 2/3 will weigh more than when they started. Why are you doing that? Why? Who's telling you what we're sharing with you? It's not our research. You know, we're called the researchers of the researchers. It's not our research, but don't you want to at least know? Aren't you curious? When you can see medical proof in an interview with the #1 person in the world on weight loss, diet, nutrition, who says they'll never recommend any form to their patients of calorie restricted or traditional diets ever again. He said it'd be unethical. He said, Peter, my God, we have people, it take them 8 weeks to lose weight, and with water weight, and they also up to 40% they're losing lean muscle, when we can produce that same result with no loss of water and a gain in lean muscle with no exercise in a week, in 7 days. Which one would you choose if you knew about it? This is about choices. It's about choices. What choice are you going to make? You're coming to a fork in the road. To the right is traditional diets, right? Go right. If you go right, you're doing a traditional diet. Or now, as of today, going left. It's my left, of course. That path is this new approach. I mean, how many of you, be honest with yourself, but if you wanted to lose 25 pounds, pick any diet you want, any trainer, whatever, how long would you give yourself to lose 25 pounds? I'd love for someone to put it in the chat. I'm excited as well. Hi there. Colin, also, did you see that Huran, Huran, came on and said that she hasn't been contacted yet? Was that one of your people? Because I just want to make sure. Let me see if I can find it again. I'm going to make sure I spell her name correctly. Yeah, I believe it's Huran, Colin. Was that one of your people? If not, I've got to find out what coach is coaching her, because she said she didn't get contacted, and I don't like hearing that, of course. Let's see. Yeah, Hanuta, sorry, Colin, Hanuta. No one contacted me yet, and she's signed up supposedly 2 days ago. So I want to make sure that we get on that right away. Hanuta. Do you see that, Colin? Hanuta. Okay, hold on. All right, so follow creator. We're excited for you, my friend. Hi, Yasina. Okay, great. So Colin, obviously we have some really excited people. Colin's one of he is the coach of coaches. He actually teaches people how to teach you how to do this. But the coaching is just so important. It's invaluable. And I think any of the people, I don't think we have anybody on here. Well, I would text her again then, Colin, because she's saying, maybe even give her a phone call. For some reason, she's either not getting it, etc. It sounds like she's very anxious to learn more and get started. So Anyway, I'm glad she's hanging in there with us, Colin. That's the main thing. Wow, thank you very much, Coaleen. That's wonderful. I just texted her again. Okay. So again, for now we're at 5,800 likes, everybody. Are your fingers tired? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But let's get some more taps. Come on. I mean, we got to get up to 6 or 7 or 8,000. I'm going to keep going, by the way. I'm now at an hour and 19 minutes. I'm not tired yet. I'm going to keep going, okay? So who else would like to ask me a question? How did she do this? Is it safe? Is it the same person? Is it the same woman? Or Kristen? I mean, listen, look at that, everyone. 5 pounds a week. I'd love for someone to put in the chat, if you could lose 5 pounds a week, how excited would you be? And it was safe. And you lost no lean muscle. And you didn't exercise. And you gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in a month and lost no water weight. Would that excite you? The likes make the screen beautiful. Try it. I love it. Let's get some more taps. Let's get some more tap. Robin, I think it's a miracle. Robin, wow, that's really, really, are the foods easily accessible at the grocery store? Yes, Alex. But remember, only 30% of what you're going to consume. Let me tell you what they are. Proteins, fats, carbs, and fruits, right? Carbs, fats, proteins, etc. But what's so different about it, Alex, is that it's not based on calories. It's based on serving sizes. Now, the people that put this together, they're considered the top nutrition, weight loss physiologists in the world. In case you don't know, so the nutritionists, they analyze nutrition. But a physiologist analyzes what the nutrition does once it enters the body. They were shooting to give you, how do we give you the most amount of nutrition in the least amount of food? Nothing to do with calories, only to do with the serving sizes and very specific selections that they made, not us, nothing to do with us. So that's 30% of what you would get, Alex. Alex loves fashion, okay. But 70%, if you heard what I was talking about, comes from, not from these researchers who have no food, no company, no products. They come from other suppliers who for 20 years had gone around the world, Alex, and found nutrients and foods in these faraway places. In some cases, the nutrients they gave to these people came from regions where people were living to be 100 years old and didn't get sick. So they represented huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food by quantity. And what was their goal, the whole goal? Could we give you, Alex, less food, but increase your nutrition? It's exactly what they did. And so 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day, starting with these exotic foods from around the world. Nothing from the grocery store list, Alex, at that point. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods from around the world. Got it so far? 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from your grocery store list at all, only these foods from around the world. But this time, they had her eating 8 times a day, Alex. She was eating every hour and a half. And the diabetics, there were no insulin spikes. There were no incidents at all. But let me explain something to you, to all of you, including you, Alex. The only reason to do this, it's not a question, can we get the weight off you? Like that picture you're looking at there of Kristen, that was 8 years ago. She's kept the weight off for 8 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. It's called R2M, race to maintenance. And the reason you get free coaching is because, number one, you've never done this before. But number two, the coach ultimately teaches you how to maintain. You know how simple maintenance is, Alex? Breakfast every day, these exotic foods around the world. That's what I do every day. 2 normal meals, and then maybe once every 2-3 months, do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast once you get to your goal. But Alex, we got kids young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91. We have an 80-year-old. She's lost 91 pounds in about 10 months. She's playing. She couldn't go up a flight of stairs 10 months ago. Now she's playing pickleball 3 times a week, swimming 3 times a week, walking about 4 miles a day. Think that changed her life? It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. But here's the key for all of you, including you, Alex. It's about sustainability. It really is. And maintenance, it's so simple. But again, Alex, if you can give your body some of the nutrients that people that are living to be 100 taking, and they're not supplements. This is not lotions, potions, pills, cap. It doesn't work like that. I mean, hopefully that's really exciting or intriguing. Let's just say that, Alex, at least intriguing. And I'm going to put down at the bottom, yes, Robin, it's very affordable. I'm on my journey and I'm petrified of getting off it. Yes, Alex loves fashion. Okay. Alex, let me tell you why you should be frightened, okay? By the way, I'm not even against the shots, all right? I'm not, but I'm a scientist, okay? Alex loves fashion. Listen to this. This is a 68-week study, Alex. 68 weeks. New England Journal of Medicine, you can go look it up, on semaglutide. So it's a sister or brother of those GLP-1s. After 68 weeks, the weight loss was 32 pounds, and right in the study, 40% of the 32 pounds was lean muscle mass. Now, I'm working with a lot of people that are on the shots that are terrified about losing lean muscle mass. And here's why. Because the people coming off the shots are gaining a half a pound a day. Because what is the shot really doing to you? And I'm not opposed. They're helping diabetics. They're helping, people that are morbidly obese. But what the shot's doing is it's slowing down, as you know, the food moving through your digestive tract. Code word, you're eating less food. Got that part? But what else are you getting less of? Nutrition. I don't give a damn what diet you're on. When your body senses, your brain, this is not enough nutrition, it will automatically stop accessing the fuel in your fat cells and turn to your muscles. They're losing 40% of their lean muscle. Are you kidding me? Yeah, if you stop, you're going to gain everything back unless you have an alternative. This is the off-ramp, okay? But we have lots of people that are on the shots and they're doing this as a transition out of the shots. Triepazide and Wegovy and Ozempic and, well, obviously in this case, semaglutide. Because here's the thing. Weight loss should not be the goal. That should be the outcome. The main reason to do it is to increase our lean muscle. Do you understand what's happening to it, Lex? As you're losing lean muscle, what else are you doing? Yeah, you're slowing down your metabolism, so when you come off this thing, you're going to gain all the weight back and more. But worse, by losing lean muscle, what are you also compromising? Your own immune system. Really? Are they telling you that? Now, here's what's sad about the study, New England Journal of Medicine. Here's what they said about the 32 pounds in 68 weeks, 40% loss of lean muscle. This is clinically relevant reductions in body weight. Do you understand the bar is so low, it's almost ridiculous? It took them 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds. Look at this, Alex. He lost 40 pounds in a month. This guy, Andy, 45 pounds in a month. Based on those numbers, to lose 45 pounds on semaglutide, I mean, you'd be plus 2 years. Look, Alex, 30 days. Now are you interested? Now are you excited? Now are you curious? I mean, otherwise from what I'm, from all the science, otherwise you have to be on the shots forever. And how's that? You've seen already Ozempic face. What do you think's happening? But I don't make things up. Here's what's different about us. We don't give you opinions. Opinions don't mean anything. I can say that because, listen, and I'm not telling you to impress you, but I've written 4 best-selling books, some of the top medical doctors in the world. I've been a nutritional researcher 23 years. I did 20 shows on PBS. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America and did over 1,500 live lectures around the world in universities and medical schools and hospitals and towns. Heck, they flew me to China to lecture about what we're talking about right now. And the saddest thing for me is that most of you have been so brainwashed, you're going to go back to what you're doing. You're going to keep doing paleo or keto or Mediterranean or whatever it is. But it's just so sad. I mean, here's another big study for all of you. Why you shouldn't count calories. Our researchers found that while counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict their calories gain back more weight than they lost. Alex, I'm not picking on you. I'd love to be able to help you. But step number 1 is just go take a look. We're not going to contact you. There's an interview. You wait till you hear what he says about at the end of the interview about the shots. He's got the actual study and shows you the graphs and how much lean muscle and oh my gosh. And he's not against the shot. He's a scientist just saying these are the results. I'm just curious, if you don't mind, Alex, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Oh my God, 2 years to lose 60 pounds. Again, 1900, I promise, but Alex, read the numbers. Is that, Alex, what do you think about that? 60 pounds in 3 months. It took you 2 years to lose 60 pounds. Are you kidding me? Alex, seriously, make a comment. What do you think about that? I'm real curious for your opinion. Since you lost 60 pounds in 2 years compared to this. Oh, Robin, easily. Robin, look at her. Robin, does that excite you? Robin, look at that. Alex, you think it's insane? Alex, you think I'm insane? It's okay if you do. At least it looks like in your picture you have a smile. You look like a nice person. Oh my gosh. Yes, it does. You mean, are you saying, Robin, it looks like a different woman? Or are you saying that's unbelievable? Robin, in your case, now, Robin, you're going to think that I'm crazy, but Robin, let me ask you a question, okay? Now, remember, this is live, right? I'm not AI. I'm really here. I'm really a person. It's May 23rd at 7:47 a.m. in Denver, Colorado, where I'm broadcasting from today. All right. So, right. But Robin, how excited would you be? Please tell me honestly, or Alex. But in your case, Robin, in particular, because you have more weight to lose, Alexa's already lost a fair amount of pounds. And I need to lose 70 pounds in 1900. I gain weight that easy and I lose it that easy. Yeah, Angelica. Okay, everybody, you're overwhelming me. So let me just finish one person at a time. Robin, how excited would you be if in the first 4 days you lose 8 or 10 pounds? Tell me in the comment. So Angelica, it is possible. Oh my, look at that. But okay, let's go to even lesser amounts, okay? Would you be, Angelica, how excited would you be about that? 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days with no exercise. And all the ladies that are looking at this, look at from her hips up. Look at how much she slimmed down. And by the way, ladies, this is no exercise. No exercise at all. Now, is that incredible? I think the scale is broke. Robin, you know what? I'll tell you a true story. Our coaches warn people when they start. Listen, on the 5th morning, you will think your scale's broken. Robin, look, Robin, here's the thing. You have everything to gain by going to the website. It's free. Take a look at the medical information and then talk to a coach. And it's all free. Only thing you're buying is the food from the grocery store. 30%, somebody asked me how expensive it is. You're going to spend about what we spent last month on total groceries, but only 30% you give the money to your grocery store. The other 70% goes to these suppliers who bring these foods in from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand that made this work. So you didn't do this 100% on regular, organic, whole foods, etc., right? Is our diet, y'all. Yep, mine is too. Okay. I believe him, Angelica. You're really nice. Oh, because here's the point, okay, for all of you nice people, Angelica and Robin and 1900, etc. Yeah, Robin, we need this. Look, what would I gain by lying to you? You know how social media is. I'd be outed in about 2 seconds. People would be on there saying, but here's why. Here's why you would hope. I would hope you would trust me, because let's go back and look at the website, everybody, okay? Right there in blue, the new health. When you go there, you get to see the medical proof. Peer-reviewed human trial studies are irrefutable evidence. It has nothing to do with me. It's not my research. I'm the researcher of the researchers. Now, why would you care so much about a peer-reviewed human trial study? Because in medical research, notice I said medical research, There's no higher standard to prove or disprove what the researchers are submitting. That's why no drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed human trial study. Now, what does it mean in English? It means that in this case, like one of these studies was published in the Obesity Journal, which goes all over the world to all the people that are obese, doctors, etc. What happens is when you submit, the researchers in this case, to the Obesity Journal, they decide if they're going to publish it. Guess what? They don't review your work. They send it out to other world-class medical doctors and researchers who have one job. It's not to approve what you're claiming, it's to disprove what you're claiming. That's why it's called a peer-reviewed human trial study. But it's not the journal that publishes it doesn't do the research, because otherwise you'd say they were prejudiced, right? There's nothing like this on the planet. I mean, would any of you be unhappy with 25 pounds in 30 days? But look at the transformation in your body. That's the thing I want you to all look at. The weight loss is almost like a throw-in. And then the medical results, when you look at Curtis in a month's time, his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides from 242 to 124 in 30 days. Has anyone seen anything like that? Look at Julie, everybody. I forgot Julie. One of my favorites. Look at that at 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at that, everybody. Look at from her shoulders, her waist, her legs. Is that the same woman? I'd love for any of you, Angelica or Alexa or any. Comment. Robin, it's not a matter of signing up. It's a matter of going to the website. I'm going to put it here for you right now. We're not trying to convince you. The new, health conversation. Trust me. Okay, you see it right there, right below Aileen's name, the new health conversation. It's a free medical website. When you go there, Robin, we won't contact you. Only way we'll contact you, look at the medical proof, then you can scroll down and get a free coach. And that coach is live with you. They'll call you, they'll text you, they'll email you as they teach you how to do this. Now, the other thing for Robin and Alex and everybody else, if you do it, this is what the researchers use. It's called the blueprint for success with all the patients that went through this. The yellows you see there are daily videos from the researchers who created this, who don't have any products to sell. They don't have a company. And why were they willing to do this with me? Because they spent 40 years of their life trying to find the magic bullet for weight loss and obesity and health, and they did, and now they're getting the credit for it. So what they were saying is, we want to make sure that a normal person who didn't have to go through our clinical trials, our medical trials, does it exactly the way. This is what they gave to their patients. This is what the patients got to go through this. So you get that, which is, so every day you get a video from the researcher saying, look, this is safe, this is why it works. You're getting a wonderful, wonderful education. And you have a live coach who is there to call you, text you, whatever, okay? I know it sounds good to be true, but there's no other way for us to do it. You've never done anything like this before. And then, I mean, it's really amazing when you look at someone like Andy, 45 pounds, 60 inches in a month. And again, big number for, his A1C from 7.9 to 6.2, but more spectacular, his bad cholesterol went from 120 to 59 in 30 days. 30 days. You ever seen anything like that, any of you? So let's come back to the beginning. So the thing that I want to impress upon all of you, that website in blue, the new health conversation, it's free for you all to go to. Number one. Number two, we won't contact you if you go there. So don't think it's some sales gimmick with a bait and switch and you're going to go there and we're going to try and sell you something. We don't sell anything. We don't have any products. The researchers don't have any products. Oh, the part I forgot to tell all of you. So 30% of what you're going to consume in a month, you buy from your grocery store when we talk about cost. But the other 70% from these suppliers from around the world that you're buying from them, okay? But they offer you in the first 30 days 100% of your money back if it doesn't work. No, it's not a fake. That's real. That's what they do. Because nothing's 100%, of course. But it's so rare when anybody... You think she wants a refund? Do you think she wants a refund? Somebody put it in the chat. You see what I'm saying? And nothing's 100%. I mean, there are instances where people do it and, they don't lose any weight or... I mean, it's rare, but, it's not like everybody gets the flu either. But I'd say this is 99.999%. It really does work for about everybody. I'm going to take a look. Good. We're are what we eat. We are what we eat, absolutely. It's all about nutrition. Alexa, you're 1,000,000% right. Okay. So, Angelica, and yeah, all of you, I just would encourage you to go to the site and look at the medical proof, and then you make a decision. The science doesn't lie. See, peer-reviewed human trial studies, they don't have any opinions. They don't have any prejudice. The science is the science. That's why, people get really mad at me or want to take me on and think I don't know what I'm talking about. And I just kind of laugh and say, well, I'm not so sure about that. But none of it's my research. So people's opinion of me is none of my business. But for some reason, they're trying to take on, they're taking on peer-reviewed human trial studies that have been vetted by the top people in the world. And with all due respect, the people coming on here commenting on social media aren't the top research. Maybe they are, but for the most part, they're well-minded people that have been taught the way to lose weight is calories in, calories out. Does anybody really think that's working? When you've got, now, let me read to you from another big study just to show you how ineffective diets really are. Reality check. This is a study done in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Title of the study, Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Adults. In this study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, they looked at 48 unique randomized trials, 7,286 people. They looked pretty much and named about every diet, all the major diets. So keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, carnivore, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Zone, keto, named across the board. When they analyzed at the end of 12 months, the most amount of weight loss on any diet in 12 months to the least amount of weight loss in 12 months on any diet, the difference in 12 months was 10 ounces. That's not even an ounce a month difference. But the sad part was here, in a year, the weight loss was 16 pounds and up to 40% was lean muscle mass. Now, you can believe whatever you want to believe, or you can believe science. You can believe a well-minded person on social media that's giving you opinions with no facts. Why are you entrusting your health to, they're nice people, but unless they can show you would you take a prescription drug that wasn't peer-reviewed human trial studied? Would you do that? Would you allow the drug companies just to come out with drugs with no supervision, no scrutiny? Heck, I don't even think the drug companies would want that. Because what happens with a peer-reviewed human trial study, it's the best irrefutable evidence we have. Yeah, and sometimes they make mistakes. Yeah, and drugs do have side effects, and they point that out. But we've got, the drugs are certainly doing, if we didn't have them, we've got 80% of America overweight, 50% obese, and 50% of them are pre-diabetic. This is a disaster right now. We don't have to wait. Johns Hopkins Medical School is saying the title of the study is Study Predicts Obesity Apocalypse. By 2030, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Right now, we got 80% of Americans overweight, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic, 50% of our kids overweight, and about a third of them are type 2 diabetics. Type 2 diabetes in children didn't even exist 35 years ago. What are we doing? We're giving them Pebbles, we're giving them Fruit Loops, we're giving them Frosted Flakes, we're giving them sugar. Okay, if you're good, I'll give you a candy. I did it as a parent. I'm not faulting any of you. But the problem is why would you think that what you're doing is going to work? Where's the evidence? No, I'm being honest. I'd love for any of you. I'm open to discussion as long as there's no name calling. And if you're going to come with medical proof. Come with a peer-reviewed human trial study. Don't come with an opinion and tell me, well, of course, diet is calories in, calories out. No, it's not. So would anybody else like to ask me a question? Who else would like to ask me a question? Milkshake, I lost 25 pounds in 30 days. Congratulations. What did you do? You're from some foreign country, it looks like. Maybe not. I'm not sure where you're from, but that's okay. I'm just real curious, you know. So you matched her, but did your body change like that? And did you reduce chemicals in your body? No, you didn't. If you were on any form of diet to do that, and have you been able to keep? Yeah, how I lost. What did you do? What did you do to lose 25 pounds in 30 days? And congratulations, that's really great. But you probably didn't get any of the other health benefits that we all need. I guess he's whoever that is having, they're probably forming an answer. So who else would like to ask me a question now? Yeah, Alex, just be mindful when you go there. You need to, if you want to scroll down, you get a coach for free. So it's not like you go to the website and we're going to contact you. We don't do that. We don't need to do that, right? Are you asking me how she lost 25 pounds in a month? We must have a translation problem here because I speak too fast sometimes. Is that what you're asking, Milkshake? Ah, okay. You didn't lose 25 pounds in a month. You want to know how she lost it. Okay, I'll speak. What country are you from, by the way? And are you understanding my English or am I speaking too fast? I want to be respectful for you so you can understand what I'm saying. So please let me know in the chat what country are you from, what language do you speak, and are you able to understand me? Okay, great. And what country are you from? Because number one, you need to make sure that what she did, that what she took is available in your country. Oh, I live in Minnesota. Oh my gosh. Okay, no problem. All right. So Milkshake, this is what she did. She didn't invent this, but the researchers, it was really based on these several principles. One, the problem with diets, Milkshake, is when you reduce the amount of food you're consuming, has nothing to do with calories, by the way. You're reducing the amount of nutrition that you have. And when your brain figures out you don't have enough nutrition, what does it do to you? It slows down your metabolism. That's why people gain all their weight back on diets. Does that make sense? So what the researchers did, they said, can we give you less food, Milkshake, but increase nutrition? Does that make sense? Right? So the researchers developed a food list that you would get proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, okay? But instead of giving you how many calories to consume, they gave you serving sizes, like how much protein, how much carbohydrate, how much vegetable, all laid out. That's what she did. But only 30% of what she bought came from the grocery store. The other 70% came from foods from around the world, from places like Russia, from Mongolia, from Tibet in the Himalayas, Nepal, from South America, New Zealand, that represented Milkshake huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food, right? So their goal was, can they give you less food, Milkshake, but increase your nutrition? That was the theory. Then what they did, based on that, so 30% what she consumed in a month came from the grocery store, and 70% from these other foods from around the world. So 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day, Milkshake, starting with these foods from around the world. Nothing from your grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list. Dinner, third meal from the grocery, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods from around the world. So 5 days a week, you'd be having 4 meals a day, if that makes sense. 2 days a week, you'd do something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store at all, none, zero food from the grocery store. And the only thing that you would be consuming would be these foods from around the world. But this time, you would be eating them 8 times a day. So you'd be eating about every hour and a half, no food at all from the grocery store, only those. Now, the key to this is not a question, Milkshake, and I don't know how much weight you want to lose. It's not, can we get the weight off you? It's teaching you how to keep the weight off forever. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. The picture of the woman you're looking at there that was taken about 8-9 years ago, she's kept the weight off now for 8 or 9 years. So the key to doing this is teaching you not just can we get the weight off you. That's easy for us to do. We teach you how to maintain it, okay? Now, maintenance, by the way, for all of you, including Milkshake, is so simple. Just your breakfast every morning, these nutrient-dense foods from around the world is kind of like, why wouldn't you want to do that? And then you eat normal lunch and dinner, and then maybe once every 2 or 3 months, do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast. Now, Milkshake, you see right above her head there in blue, the new health conversation. The reason to go there, you'll see the medical proof. If you go there, we won't call you. We won't text you. No. But if you like what you see, Milkshake, scroll down and you can get a free coach. It says, see right above her name, right, free in black. Free coaching to ensure your success. It's free. It's not a gimmick. It's not a trick. Not only will they coach you initially to get you started, but they'll coach you the whole way and get you on maintenance. The only reason to do this, Milkshake, and every one of you, is maintenance. There's no other reason to do it. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So Milkshake, do you understand that? I saw you say, wow. I'm assuming you understood. Did I speak slowly enough to make sure that you understood? So if I was to review, oh, you betcha. So Milkshake, and all of you, here's the concept. This works when no other diet does, because this is based on the most important thing to our body is nutrition. Nothing to do with calories, nothing to do with exercise. Not that exercise is bad. And so what the researchers did, to summarize, they figured out how to give you less food, less amounts of food, less quantity of food, but actually increase nutrition to heights never seen before. And those are the results. Now watch this, Milkshake. I'm going to show you a couple more people. So look at that. 21 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days, Milkshake. That's 5 pounds a week. And then this lady here, 35 pounds in 37 days. So that's 7 pounds a week she lost. But look at the change in her body. And then Milkshake, where do you see this? This is an older gentleman, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. Look at his blood work. Look at his sugar, 8.4 to 6.4 in 30 days. Look at his triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days. What does anyone think about that? That's real. That's not Photoshopped. That's not AI. That's real. That's really what's happening to people. So Milkshake, I'm inviting you. Do you think you'll want to go to the website? All of you. Why? Just go there and check out the science. We're not going to. We don't have time to contact you. You think we have time to sell you and convince you to do this? No, we rely on the science. The science is the only thing that matters. Wow, we're at 6,200 likes. Come on, let's get some more taps on the screen. Can we get some more taps? Let's get that up to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 here. I've been going almost 2 hours. Do you all like the content? Are you learning things? Do you understand now much better than you ever did before? This is not a diet. It's not about counting calories. None of that works. I mean, for some of the new people coming on, I mean, when we're talking about Harvard Medical School, stop counting calories. The idea of a calorie in and a calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to take a different approach by focusing on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's the research have nothing to do with Harvard, by the way. But that's what they did. And those are the results right in front of you. 30 days. I mean, look at her on day 1 compared to day 30. That belly fat that so many people complain about. By the way, that's with no exercise. No exercise. So, would anybody else like to ask me a question? I don't know what USDO means. US dollars, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that's your handle. I'm not sure. So who else would like to ask me a question before I end this podcast? It's now 10:10 on the in Eastern Standard Time, which would mean it's about 4 in the afternoon, I think, in England and the EU, etc. In case anybody from over the pond, as we say, is on this podcast, because this podcast does go all over the world, and that's one of the things we're really proud of. We're really growing an audience. So we're at 6,400. Can we get some more taps? Would anybody else like to make a comment? Some of you feel like you've learned something. Do you feel it's valuable information? Are you encouraged? Are you excited? Are you still skeptical? I mean, any of those are possible, I agree. But I mean, when you see things like this, 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days, and she only had 35 pounds to lose. I mean, what do you think could happen to you? And that's totally healthy. And it's backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. Sounds pretty good to me. So who else would like to comment on that? Anybody? Okay, I'm going to go 6 more minutes. That'll be exactly 2 hours, just because I need to let my voice rest. So let's see, it's 10, 11, 12. I'll probably do another one around 12:30 Eastern time, maybe before, but let's say 12:30 just to be safe, okay? Oh, I'm on the website. Wonderful, Alex. Wonderful. And you'll see there's nothing to buy there. There's nothing to buy. It's just the medical proof. And Lex, the most important thing, watch that 60 minutes that'll change your life. That's with the #1 nutritional researcher in the world. And he goes over this, but he also at the end talks about the shots. So you may be very interested in watching that. It's well worth it. It's really, I mean, it's very, very compelling. Okay? And hopefully, if you're already looking, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and look at the before and afters, you'll be stunned. There are people there, men and women, lost 100 pounds with no loose skin. Well, there you go, Alex. But again, that interview will, I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. And he's the #1 nutrition weight loss physiologist in the world. Not me, that's him. And they took 40 years to invent this. Isn't that just, I mean, what a gift to all of us. Do you agree, Alex? I mean, a gift. And all they want to do is get their research out because they don't have anything to sell. They have no vested interest. They don't have any, because this isn't even products, it's foods. I mean, it's not like they have, oh, this is the R2M brand. No, there's no such thing. Oh, good. All right. Well, I don't think you'll be disappointed in taking a look at that. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go about 3.5 more minutes unless somebody comes on with a question they want me to answer. I'll stay. We're at 6,600 likes. Can we get some more taps? Can we get some more taps? Alexa, I'll do one other thing because you really have been very, very helpful today on this. If you decide that you look at the medical proof and you want to do a free consultation, when you fill it out, say that you talk to me. If you'd want to do a free personal consultation with me personally, I'll do it for you. I'm serious because I would love to help you out, and especially you've got some other challenges with the shot and transition and some of those kind of things. So I try and do maybe 1 or 2, 3 live, personal consultations a week, only because I'm kind of busy changing the world here. If you want, but you don't have to. But you'll see at the bottom it says there's a place to put comments, and if you put that in there, then they'll know to let me know that you're one of the people I approved to do a personal consultation with me. I mean, obviously I can't do it with everybody. I'm already working 12 hours a day. I started this podcast at 5:30 a.m. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, wow, I guess you want to do a personal consultation. All right, then more important than ever, okay? Study that website. Watch that 60 minutes. Now, the reason I want you to do that, it'll give you better questions to ask me, and also I'll have it'll make it much more efficient. Let me just say that. Okay? Oh, you're too nice, Aileen. That's really, really wonderful. Aileen, is this helping you? Do you think you're learning things? Do you see the way that, but do you see the interaction with people like Alex and everybody else, and how hungry, like we talked about, in the past, how hungry people are for this information, and how, Alex, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but honestly, aren't you kind of looking for us even harder than we're looking for you? There's only here's the thing, Alex, we only have so many coaches. Like the lady on there, Aileen, she is a coach. I know her, right? And they're all saying the same thing that we're seeing over and over and over again. People are so desperate for a solution. Let me just tell you my comment on the shots, okay? As a researcher, and hopefully you can see that I'm a researcher, right? But I just look at it and go, wait a minute. We're giving a diabetic medication to someone who hasn't have diabetes. See, we don't know how it's going to turn out long term. We don't. The early indications are, yeah, there's some side effects, and I'm not against the shots. So don't be anybody calling up the pharmaceutical company saying he was saying that. I didn't know. All I'm doing is, in contrast, comparing the shots outcomes to this protocol. This is all natural with no side effects and producing weight loss. Well, let's be honest. If it took them 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds and she lost 21 pounds in a month, she's going to easily lose that in, let's say, 6 weeks, which she did, I know. So 6 weeks versus 68 weeks. I mean, you have to be on it almost, 10 times longer. 10 times longer to lose the same amount of weight. Really, I'm looking at that going, okay, jab or let's do this, right? Huh. Christopher, I'm very impressed. Very, that's wonderful. To be a health coach not long before it was cool. Yeah. Well, Alex, so Dr. Christopher, what have you been on very long? Are you curious about and that's not Photoshop. That's really true. 5 pounds a week, 38 inches. And that's the least. Look at this one right here. 25 pounds in 30 days. Look at her abdomen area. Look at the shrinkage there. Or this other lady, Julie, this is exactly 37 days, 35 pounds. Look at her shoulders, her waist, her legs. It's not a diet. It works nothing. Oh, good, Dr. Christopher. That's wonderful, wonderful. But honestly, comment. What do you think about that? Assuming I'm not lying, assuming it's not Photoshop. And you got to understand, it's backed, Dr. Christopher, by 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies in the biggest medical journals in the world. This has made every diet obsolete. These studies just came out in the last 14 or 15 months because if you know, I'm sure you do, about peer-reviewed human trial studies, they cost a lot of money, they take a long time, they're done on human beings, not mice, rats, not a scientific paper. This is a whole new dimension. It's going to change everything. And wait till you see, I'm a weight loss clinic in Washington, I've seen similar results. But again, doing what when you say similar results? I'm just curious. What have you used? I'm not disagreeing. One of my patients lost 110. Well, how about this one right here? How about 60 pounds in 3 months? And that's the daughter of a friend of mine. We've got people that I have one gentleman who lost 180 pounds in 180 days. He's actually in one of my books. Matter of fact, I may even have the picture that I can show to you. Did you hear what I said? 180 pounds in 180 days. If I've got the picture, it is pretty dramatic. Yeah, here it is. Hold on just a second. I want to show you Dr. Christopher. There's nothing like this, okay? And again, even though they, yeah. So, okay, you can see him on the left there, right? And in the picture up above. The next picture I'm going to show you is exactly 6 months later, 180 pounds in 180 days, and he's in my best-selling book, TDOS Solutions. There's not, Doc, that's wonderful what you're doing. That's at the outer limits of what's possible, but it's not this. The second thing is none of those diets have ever been vetted, have looked at blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, proving what this proves is this medical syndrome, which you and me and every one of your patients has, called TDOS. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. I did discover it. These researchers who did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proved that this was removing chemicals from the body. No diet has ever seen that. Also, in 30 days, doctor, inflammation came down 25% in 30 days. The medical results on this are insane. Let me show you Curtis. How about this? 40 pounds in 30 days. Look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, his triglycerides from 242 to 124. This was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, rated the #1. 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people on every kind of diet you can imagine. They're the ones that invented this. And they don't have any products. They don't sell anything. The principle was pretty simple. Could we come up with new food groupings that would give people less food by quantity, but more nutrition? So they developed a food list. 30% of what he took and everybody else was a food list: proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits, but based on serving sizes, not based on calories. It had nothing to do with calories. The other 70% of what they had people consume came from other researchers who'd gone to the far reaches of the world: Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to get foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. Then what did they do? They invented 2 new ways of consuming the food, not a diet. 5 days a week, he and everybody else had 4 meals a day. They started with these exotic foods from around the world, lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a last meal after dinner from these exotic foods. So 5 days a week, 4 days, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, they did a new concept called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these food groups from around the world. But this time, they had them eating 8 times a day. They were eating every hour and a half, but no food from the grocery store, only these incredibly nutrient-dense feedings, they call them. And no one's ever seen results like this. There's no result like this. And you've got to understand, there are 10. One of the studies, for example, wasn't even about weight loss. It was actually published in, if you're familiar with it, Nature Communications, the #1 medical journal in the world. The study was gut microbiome remodeling and metabolic profile improves drastically in response to protein pacing and intermittent nutritional fasting. Had nothing to do with the weight loss. Had everything to do with our immune system, our gut, our microbiome, okay? But again, I know it sounds too good to be true, maybe, and I'm not discounting what you did. That's great, but compared to this, not even in the same zip code. I mean, you got to understand, the first time ever, they measured inflammation and C-reactive protein, the interleukin-1, came down 25% in 30 days. People's hunger came down 41% in a month. People's cravings in just 2 weeks were gone. People were losing weight in 4 days that took a month on any diet. I mean, and then this guy right here, Andy, look at that, 45 pounds in 30 days and 60 inches. And look at his A1C, 7.96. Look at his bad cholesterol, 120 to 59 in 30 days. No diet's producing anything like this. And I understand. I congratulate you. You're doing amazing. Compared to most diets, you're blowing them all away. But you can't touch this. There's no comparison. I mean, I have a guy in Denver in 20 months. So you said it was about a year and a half the guy lost whatever. Okay, he lost 387 pounds. He went from 587 to 200 in 20 months. No loose skin, by the way. No loose skin. So let's see. Well, Dr. Christopher, thank you. So you can get a hold of me. Yeah, personally, I think inflammation is a big. Yes, it is. No question about it, Alec. So, doctor, if you go to the website, let me put it also in the chat at the bottom. That's how you can reach me. The new health. I assume you're still practicing, and you probably got patients or whatever you need to go to. But anyway, that's the free website to go and just say you'd like to do a personal, consultation with me. I love to talk to health professionals all the time. Science, European foods. Oh my God, there's no Dr. Christopher. These are not European foods, though. Keep in mind, we're talking about Russia, Mongolia, Tibet in the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand. Okay, even European foods don't compare with the nutritional density. And some of these nutrients are from areas where people live to be 100 years old and don't get sick. Those aren't available in European soils or North American soils. There's rare places in the world where they have these amazing nutrients that don't exist anywhere else. So anyway, I hope you will reach out to me, okay? So, Leeks, and I don't know if I told you this before, Leeks, this will get you excited. It's bragging, I guess, but we wrote the definitive book on the gut. It's called Your Third Brain. I wrote it with Dr. Marco Ruggiero, considered the top oncologist in the world and a molecular biologist. This book came out over 10 years ago. And we were the ones that said the microbiome is so much more than just a collection of bacteria, viruses, fungi, yeast. It literally is the third brain of the body. Because, see, it's not just your immune system. It's the software that tells your immune system what to do. Does that make sense, Alex? Oh, yeah, I am multi-streaming. Yeah, Dr. Christopher, did you see that? We wrote the definitive book, Your Third Brain. And we proved that, I mean, it got widely acclaimed in like the Townsend Letter, if you're familiar with that. It's been around for 60, 70 years, and they just were blown away by our research and what we proved. We were way ahead of the power curve in terms of the microbiome. This book is over 10 years old. So I think that we are pretty well versed in what we're doing. Now, again, what's so interesting in the study that I stated before about the microbiome and the nature communication, um, obviously we didn't know anything about that when we wrote the book. And there's no correlation between the two other than obviously the studies support the fact that you want to have the most robust microbiome in the world if you want to be the healthiest you can be. So there's a lot to this. This is not about losing weight. This is not about people fitting in skinny jeans. This is about so many more things. That's why I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation with you. I really appreciate health professionals like yourself. And, I think that we need a lot more of us with the current. I mean, John Hopkins Medical School doc, if you didn't see this, study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese in 4.5 years. Does that sound like diets are working long term? They're not. That's just a sad fact, right? Yeah. But men, we were the first ones to come out and really say, because my colleague knows the people in Europe who discovered the microbiome, which was discovered about 2005, 2006. So we had a front row seat to what was going on. He didn't discover it, but he knows the scientists who did, and then we did the research, and the book it's been widely acclaimed. Your Third Brain. It's not a trick title. But anyway, I'm not trying to sell you a book. As a matter of fact, on the website, there's no books for sale. There's nothing for sale there. It's just the medical proof. I mean, heck, doc, there's an interview, 60 minutes that'll change your life. You listen to that, it'll turn everything you thought you knew about diet, exercise, nutrition upside down. For them, it took them 40 years to figure this out. 100 studies, thousands of people. It's all good. So, Alex, is that amazing about the microbiome? Who else would like to ask me a question? Dr. Christopher, thank you very, very much. That's really wonderful, and I hope you will. I hope we can, talk. See, Alex, are you getting the point? It's not a diet. Are you understanding now? It's not a diet, and that's not the great, great. So I'm sorry, who was quite progressive? I'm not quite sure who you're talking about, but that's okay. Right. So for all of you, so now we're at 2 hours and 11 minutes. I'm going to keep going. I'm just in a really great mood, and you're all making me feel wonderful. We're at 6,900 likes. Come on, let's get going. My record, I think, is 27,000, but that was also a 4 or 5 hour. Once I get on this, I completely lose track of time. So again, hopefully no one's bored yet, and people are jumping on and jumping off. That's okay. But again, we got a lot of really, really. Okay, wonderful. Just Dr. Christopher, I get so wrapped up in like the research. Sometimes I don't even look at the comments. I'm glad I got to see you. And again, well, you'll find out that we're pretty much at the cutting edge of the cutting edge of the cutting edge. I've written 4 best-selling books, and again, just to brag a little bit on myself, there's a new book that just came out. Hopefully you can read it. Current Trends in Community Health Models. It pretty much is going to all the allopathic physicians in the world. It's published out of England. And they chose little old me. I got to write the chapter on weight loss and health. Pretty big honor for me to be picked to do that. But my research, look, I was the one, I discovered this medical syndrome, TDOS. Now, originally, I guess you'll find this interesting. Originally, it was TDOSI. T for toxicity, D for deficiency, O for overweight, S for stress, I for what? Inflammation. Well, then the FDA made inflammation a disease, and my lawyers told me I couldn't use it. So it's TDOS. But we know that those 4 contribute to inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there. So when the researchers in these studies proved inflammation came down 25% in a month, end of the ball game over. I mean, the main reason to do this is not to lose weight. The main reason to do this is to detoxify the body. That's what this is. First and foremost, it's a detox. The side benefits of the weight loss is everything else. Good, Dr. Christopher. You'll, read our book. Maybe you'll get some pointers in there that you could use in your book. Because we're cited a lot now. I promise. But when people hear the title, they spin out, right? They're going like, what do you mean your third brain? Yeah, exactly. We know. It's really exciting that all of this is, look, I've been doing this for 23 years. I did write four best-selling books with some of the biggest medical doctors in the world, 20 shows on PBS. I was interviewed four biggest daytime shows in America, did over 1,500 live lectures around the world. And for 22 of those 23 years in the medical allopathic medicine, it meant zero. Why? No peer-reviewed human trial studies. Now we got 10 of them. So everything has changed. So it's really, I wouldn't say, yeah, it's kind of like validation. I just kept going. I just kept seeing this stuff and going, why is nobody talking about this? That's when I came up with that TDOT syndrome, by the way, is a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. And I think you probably would know that getting that little R is everything. You'll see people come out, they have TM. That's in process. That's not approved by the Patent Office. So I'm very proud of that. And lots of people have read that book and are just stunned. But now you're seeing it in the national, what's the national conversation? What are they talking about? Toxins, red dye, yellow dye, all the stuff, fluoride. I mean, I was talking about that 20 some years ago. It doesn't diminish. I'm so glad they're doing it because it makes me, because people thought I was crazy. What do you mean? Well, the FDA would never allow that. What? Really? The FDA is so overworked and understaffed. I mean, it just is. I mean, we got to have some safeguards. Thank God we got safeguards, right? But it's not enough. No one's going to convince me if we're looking at, in less than 5 years, 86% of Americans are overweight and obese. The damn healthcare system is going to collapse. There's no way. We can't. You know, right now, everyone, including Doc, if you're still on, of the $4.5 trillion money we spend on healthcare every year, $1.5 trillion is for what's called metabolic dysfunction. What the heck is that? It means if you have 3 of these 5 factors, if you're overweight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, you're considered metabolic unhealthy. All 5 of those came down in 30 days in this protocol. It's 25% of our budget is metabolic dysfunction. About 1.3, 1.4 trillion. It's a total lifestyle condition. Total lifestyle. So we're making ourselves, do you understand these diets are making you sicker? Because when you lose lean muscle mass, which everyone, 25 to 40% or whatever they're losing on any diet is lean muscle mass, not only does it slow down your metabolism, so that's why you gain all the weight back, but it also slows down what? Your immune system. How crazy is that? So, yes, it does. Great, Dr. Christopher. Thank you very much. No, my pleasure's all mine. I think we can have a very robust conversation. And if I can give you some pointers on your book for the brain, because I've already been through the brain damage to write the book. I've written 4.25 now, I guess, because the other one I got to write the chapter, but pretty important on weight loss and health. I'm very honored to have been picked to do that. So, all right, so we're almost at 7,000 likes. Can we get some more taps to get to 7,000? Just a few more taps. Or not? I mean, I don't think there's any. Well, I don't know, Aileen. Maybe you've been on the whole time. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes. So obviously you weren't bored, and maybe you garnered some nuggets from what I was saying that you can use in conversation with other people. Oh, there we go. We hit 7,000, everybody. 7,000 likes. Thank you all very, very much. That's wonderful. So does anybody else have a question for me? I'm more than happy to stay longer and answer. I see now, Dr. Christopher, your dad talked about gut health. Well, great. Yeah, it's hard to follow comments on live events. No kidding. Oh, I missed those comments. So you're probably gone, but now I understand, right? So that's why I think you'd find our book very, very interesting, etc. Any of you, of course. So who else would like to ask me a question? Okay, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'm going to go 2 more minutes, and if someone wants to ask me a question, I'll stay longer to answer any questions for all of you. So who would like to ask me a question? KJS just joined and left, joined and left, joined and left. You know, they're looking at it. They probably think that it's photoshopped, it's fake, it's not real. They've never seen before and afters like that, though. I mean, they just haven't. You look at the change in her body composition, it's really insane in a good way. So 1 more minute. Anybody else want to ask me a question before we close out this particular section, this podcast? All right. Well, listen, everybody, I want to thank you. Wow, 7,100 likes. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for being on here today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful group of people. I hope I inspired some of you. I hope you'll take advantage to go to the website. Any of the people that maybe are just coming on or looky-loos, you see in blue above her head there, The New Health Conversation. That's the free website to go to. Free coaching. It's free coaching. Free coaching. And the only things you buy, 30% of the food you buy from the grocery store, you get a grocery list, and the other 70% you buy directly from the suppliers who supplied foods to this protocol from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge quantities of food. That's what you'd be buying to do this. It's not a product. There's no product. It's food. But also then the how you do it is probably more important than what you're going to consume. Because 5 days a week, she actually had 4 meals a day, starting with these foods from around the world for breakfast, lunch from the grocery store list that you would get, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal from these foods around the world. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, nothing from the grocery store, only these foods around the world. But listen to this. They let her eat 8 times a day. So she was eating every hour and a half. And those are the results. That's 25 pounds in 30 days. It's not Photoshopped. But here's the great part. That picture is about 8 years old, and she's been able to keep the weight off for 8 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Doesn't that sound interesting? Yeah, it's all third-party tested. That's exactly right. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to end this. Alexa, I hope you enjoy the website. And if we didn't scare you away, then I'll do a personal consult with you today. What I normally do, I'll send you my Zoom link because I do everything on Zoom so I can screen share. And normally what I'll do is I'll call you and then I'll hang up. I'll text you and let you know I'm about to call you just so we can prep for the Zoom, etc. Assuming you Zoom. All right. Most people do. If you don't, it's free download, zoom.us, zoom, ZOOM.us. And then I send you a link and you just click on it. It's real easy to do it. But the reason I like to do Zooms is I can then screen share and show you the food list. Here are the actual foods. Here's what you do on a daily basis. It's much more detailed than what I can do just, here on social media. Okay? Great. All right. Well, I look forward then to meeting you, Alex. Great. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna close this out now.